fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
My gosh.
They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
America's mysterious sixth-generation stealth fighter has taken to the skies, as much as 5 to 10 years before it may have been anticipated. The early conceptual thinking for the Air Force Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program, now in development for several years, had been that an actual platform would not likely emerge until 2030. How could this have happened? One clear and lesser-known reality related to this can be found through the fast-evolving process of digital engineering, wherein actual prototype models, design renderings and technology specifics can be replicated, tested and analyzed before there is any bending of metal. This process, clearly and simply put, massively helped bring the sixth-generation stealth fighter to life.
This plane defies everything you know about combat aircraft. The world continues to search for clues surrounding the mysterious new fighter jet that the U.S. Air Force secretly designed, built, and flew in just 1 year. We're still debating whether or not the Air Force already showed us what the new fighter looks like, and now, one defense blog raises an even more intriguing question: what if the Air Force's new fighter jet isn't actually a fighter jet at all?
In night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying triangle above the deck of the ship. The Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel, expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. In night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying triangle above the deck of the ship. The Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel, expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer.
The United States shadowy stealth spy drone, RQ-180, may have been spotted for the first time. Actor Rob Kalinsky captured it flying over his house and posted it on Instagram. He uploaded the picture with the caption, "This thing flew over my house several weeks ago, and I still have yet to identify it," adding that it was shaped like a B-21, but painted in white. Kalinsky added, "I was not going to post it, but I thought that if it were really classified, they wouldn't be flying it in broad daylight like this."
course, I'm retired now, and the X-15. She's not the queen of the hangar anymore, although she's still hard at work. But I remember years ago, you know, it was long before Sputnik that we decided to build the X-15. This airplane, the first hypersonic aircraft, was going to be our first manned space probe. This was a logical step in the research aircraft program that had begun even before the end of World War II.
There she goes.
And former intelligence chief John Ratcliffe says officials have been tracking technology beyond our capabilities.
We're talking about objects picked up by satellite imagery that are difficult to explain.
To it, but maybe not. He said, "I know, Joe, I know you want there to be aliens. I know Neil deGrasse Tyson badly wants there to be aliens, and there probably are, right? But the idea that we're hiding them, if we are hiding them, I had ridiculous access to the networks of the NSA, the CIA, the military, all these groups. I couldn't find anything."
And take a look at this. Did you see something like it above your house last night? I know it's a little bit hard to make out there, but a viewer actually sent us this video from the Bradenton area. If you concentrate really closely, you can see some SpaceX satellites. They orbit in a train like this, and they're meant to bring internet to everyone across the globe. Each train has about 30 satellites. So if you missed it last night, we did post a link to our website with when you may be able to see it over your house. That's on abcactionnews.com/links.
Welcome to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. We are in the gallery above the clean room in the Spacecraft Assembly Facility to watch a spin test of NASA's Low-Density Supersonic Decelerator, otherwise known as LDSD. Now, we
now have a data set that we will use to prepare for 2 more tests beginning in June of 2015. Formally, without disturbing the vehicle too much. And now we're seeing previously unreleased high-definition, high-resolution, and high-speed video taken during the test. We used the supersonic inflatable decelerator to slow us to something closer to 2.5 times the speed of sound.
The air and to get those into space, and these are really extraordinary because this particular type of rocket can actually take off and land, and there it is. You can see it right there, that red flare off in the distance. That is it going straight up. That's all the way from Vandenberg. That is extraordinary that we can see that from this far away. Just absolutely incredible right there. And it's going to go pretty high. Watch it go. And shortly we should see that sun hit it in just a bit. You can just see it rising straight up from the horizon. There we go. It's starting to tilt a little bit. Gosh, what a sight to see. And one of the few things that I guess we'd all be very happy to say that we saw right as the year was coming to a close. And look at how just immensely bright it is. And again, all the way from Vandenberg, so far away, traveling so quickly through the night sky. And with sunset not even complete, just an absolute beautiful sight here. And look, and here's where we're going to see the sun hit it as it gets high enough. Absolutely extraordinary. It's like a shooting star in reverse. Now, I want to mention that this Falcon 9 is capable of actually carrying 10 satellites into space. So this thing is massive in its own right. And such a great thing to be watching here. And here we go. Now you see the sun hitting it. Look at that. Really taking off now. My goodness. And now you'll see it continue to shine through the night sky as it hits another thrust set right there. Just see the trail it's leaving behind. Absolutely amazing. And to describe it to you from, and you can see it, but from the ground, it almost looks as though a cloud of smoke with its own mind is just shooting through the sky. This is absolutely incredible. Again, you're watching the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base, this visible from Bakersfield. Absolutely incredible. And at this point, it looks amazing, but at this point, I really couldn't tell you what exactly is happening because space travel isn't exactly my line of expertise. So hold on to this shot for as long as you want. But Dave, Rochelle, when you're ready to take it away, please be my guest. Look at the vapor trail left behind by that. Just amazing. And it's still, you can still see it. There it is, still shining through. That was an absolute treat. That was a great way to end off the year. I hope all of you enjoyed it as much as we did here.
Although it looks like a typical airship, the level of technology in P-791 and the hybrid aircraft is quite sophisticated. For example, we use vectored thrusts, much like the F-35. Our thrust vectoring system moves in two axes, horizontal and vertical. That gives us 180 degrees of thrust in two directions. P-791 has multiple lobes. That allows us to generate lift more efficiently.
On now to that military blimp that broke loose in Maryland, floated through the Northeast for several hours, captivating so much of the country, drawing an escort of fighter jets before it finally went down in Pennsylvania. ABC's Lindsay Davis is there with our story. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. Not since the balloon boy hoax a few years ago has this country been so fixated with a helium balloon floating away. But this was no hoax. The military is now guarding the road to where this blimp landed. This morning, authorities are investigating just how this happened.
Oh my God, it's going down.
A $175 million top secret military surveillance blimp tearing away from its post, free floating for hours.
This morning, a blimp is hovering over the Baltimore suburbs. It's the newest system from the Army to protect major cities along the East Coast from cruise missiles or large drones. Chip Reed is in White Marsh, Maryland, looking at the blimp and fears it could be used for other purposes. Chip, this is really interesting. Good morning.
Yeah, well, good morning. And there it is over my left shoulder. It's hard to tell from here, but that blimp is massive. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere several weeks ago, and some people in this area are wondering if they're being watched.
The state-of-the-art radar housed in that bubble underneath has a range of 340 miles from Boston all the way to North Carolina.
We are in the NCR, the National Capital Region, is our geopolitical center of power for the United States. We have to protect it.
There's this Area 51 thing going on, and it got us thinking, how hard would it be to fake a UFO sighting?
Hold on. All right. Hold on. All right, round 3.
There it is! Whoa! That's cool! How's it feel?
Feels pretty good. It's a little unstable, but it's fine.
You got a light up dangler there, man.
We gotta glue that back on.
Yeah, no doubt. I see your throttle slowly creeping up, and I'm wondering why.
Because I'm just keeping it hovering.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly why. But it's actually flying pretty good.
It looks good! I mean, it doesn't have your buddy here in it, but that's okay. It still would freak me out if I was driving down the road.
Dude, it is flying better than I hoped for.
It looks amazing.
Way.
Here we go.
Is that it? There it goes. Yeah! There it goes.
How's it feel not having any yaw?
It feels horrible. It's sketchy.
We actually call this vehicle the Naviator for the capabilities of Navy and air. It's a drone that is able to fly and also maneuver underwater. So it's literally a new device that was not available before. So we were very lucky to get the Office of Naval Research to fund this work.
The water, make it so that it can go in all sorts of directions, do all sorts of missions.
This is the first prototype. It's still in a basic concept. We like to make it more robust, be able to go faster, deeper, add more sensors, be able to do more. So it's just increasing its capabilities.
The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency announced 3 prime contractors' selection to advance the development of a new unmanned underwater vehicle codenamed Manta Ray. With Manta Ray, DARPA hopes to field a payload-capable vehicle able to operate for long-duration, long-range missions in ocean environments. One of the most critical components of Manta Ray is the development of new undersea energy harvesting techniques that could end up having an immense impact on all sectors of the naval and maritime industry. In the spring of 2019, the Manta Ray program began when DARPA's Tactical Technology Office hosted a Proposers' Day meeting, expressing the agency's need for a novel extended-range platform. Some of DARPA's requirements for Manta Ray are classified and remain unknown. The initial Proposers' Day session was classified at the secret level, and potential proposers had to hold, at minimum, an active secret clearance to attend. After reviewing submitted proposals, in March of 2020, DARPA awarded contracts to 4 companies to work on the Manta Ray program. 3 of the awardees, Lockheed Martin Advanced Technology Laboratories, Northrop Grumman Systems Corporation, and Martin Defense Group, were selected to work on the overall Manta Ray platform.
Here's what you need to remember. This technical maturation also means that mini-drones will, to a much larger degree, be computer-enabled and potentially even directed by AI. Levels of computer and mini-drone swarm autonomy are fast improving, paving the way forward for massive amounts of increased drone-to-drone communication, data sharing, and manned-unmanned teaming. The U.S. Navy is looking for new technologies able to engineer new, small, submarine-launched aerial drones able to find targets miles away and relay back targeting information on enemy ships, submarines, aircraft or other kinds of hostile activity. Naval Sea Systems Command is asking industry for proposals and ideas to build a submarine-launched unmanned aerial system with a 3-inch diameter form factor. The request asks that the mini-drone provide sensor, communication and cybersecurity capabilities. The integrated system should be capable of launch from the U.S. submarine fleet's 3-inch signal system ejector equipment, the NAVSEA announcement states. Such small drones, which could potentially launch as a mini-group, might take off from an attack or ballistic missile submarine once it surfaces from undersea missions or perhaps even as it lingers slightly below the surface. The folding wing UAV is a high-reliability, submarine-launched small-diameter aircraft capable of conducting ISR missions in contested ocean environments. Threshold performance of the air vehicle should include electro-optic capability with reliable target solution analysis, the announcement says. How might such an application, which the NAVSEA statements say is only a consideration at this point, impact maritime warfare tactics? Certainly, it seems it might help submarines find enemy warships less detectable by undersea sonar. The mini-drones could also find enemy air assets or even surveil land areas for potential Tomahawk missile attack. Other emerging requirements, according to the NAVSEA statement, stipulate that the vehicle should remain airborne for at least 1 hour, operate at ranges out to the line of sight radio horizon, and use a variable bandwidth encrypted data link with at least 256-bit encryption strength. While any kind of exact range for the new drone has yet to be specified, There are a number of industry players capable of engineering such a system of varying ranges, depending upon engine fuel efficiency, propulsion technologies and sensor form factor. EO/IR sensor cameras are fast increasing in fidelity and range, a technical trajectory that means smaller and smaller drones will operate with an ability to cover wide swaths of territory. This technical maturation also means that mini-drones will, to a much larger degree, be computer-enabled and potentially even directed by AI. Levels of computer and mini-drone swarm autonomy are fast improving, paving the way forward for massive amounts of increased drone-to-drone communication, data sharing, and manned-unmanned teaming. Perhaps a group of small, sub-launch drones will be able to pass targeting information to one another and even queue air and ground assets as well. They could be programmed to operate in tandem with one another and adjust to new targeting information or obstacles as they emerge.
Come ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
How hard would it be to fake a UFO sighting?
China wants to launch a fake moon into the sky by the year 2020. Announced last week at an innovation conference, a southwestern Chinese city wants to launch a satellite into orbit that would reflect the sun's rays at night. It will reportedly be 8 times brighter than the real moon, and it could replace street lights, saving that city more than $200 million a year. However, astronauts are concerned about the increased light pollution it could cause.
Fly away smoothly. The quality of our model can be assessed by how efficiently the drones are able to make collective decisions. In a highly optimized system, collective motion patterns emerge naturally and remain stable throughout the flight.
And to visualize the flight, we created a program in which the color is determined by the direction of the drone itself. You can see that if I move around the drone with different directions, it will change its color.
Lyons, Colorado, June 2001. Is it a firefly? Is it a plane? Is it a UFO?
There were two really bright lightning bolts. And right in the middle, for about 10 seconds, there was this glowing ball of light. We've never seen anything like that.
It seems to be a rare and mysterious phenomenon called ball lightning.
Nobody knows what ball lightning is. I mean, understanding normal lightning is difficult enough, but ball lightning is something entirely different.
Yet it has been seen by thousands of people all over the world, and their descriptions are strikingly consistent.
Most people describe ball lightning as being about the same size and brightness as a 60-watt light bulb. So suppose you're sitting in your living room and there's a thunderstorm outside. You look out your window and you see this floating along outside your window. You then see it comes through the glass into your living room, approaches you, and then suddenly either exploding or quietly disappears. That's how people describe ball lightning.
The smoke and
Without
the fire
the plume,
going,
right?
and hopefully it will stay that way. I know they continue to monitor that. We've been monitoring the sky here tonight as well. Everybody in the newsroom has been looking out the window, and you got to look pretty high up in the sky right now. In fact, our tower cam can't quite tilt high enough to see the full moon, which is really something out there this evening. It's a special full moon tonight. Oh my goodness, look at that. We just caught ourselves a falling star.
DARPA yesterday announced contracts to General Atomics, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman for design work on its Longshot program, a radical new air-launched drone designed to take out enemy aircraft at extreme ranges. Longshot will be carried externally by fighters or internally by bombers. The artist's impression reveals an air vehicle resembling the Air Force's stealthy AM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff missile, but which itself launches missiles. It may be no coincidence that contractors Lockheed Martin make the JASSM, while General Atomics brings unparalleled experience with military drones. DARPA revealed the concept in a budget document last year, quoting $21 million for the initial work.
against a variety of threats, surface or air. It's not a niche weapon system like some other weapons that we have throughout the military, where it's only good against air contacts or it's only good against surface targets.
How hard would it be to fake a UFO sighting?